Hey everybody, welcome to the Patty G Show. This week, love is in the air. We sit down with Sarah Wampler and we just talk weddings. We talk the wedding industry, we talk bustle, we talk bridal parties, we talk brides. We talk about how she is the baddie for the bride. She really is. Great episode upcoming with her, talking all things wedding industry. Before we get to that, though, I want to give a big wonderful shout out and thank you to the folks that bring you this show each and every week. Lakeman's Health Center, PB&J Productions. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and also help rate the show, guys. Come on. Doing this for 6 years. Help get us out there. Help us spread the word about what we do in this great state. Enjoy the show. So how did you get into the wedding industry?
So, so I got married young. I was a little baby bride, right? I got married when I was 20.
Okay.
And we're still married. Everything's fine.
That's good. That's good. That's good. We were 20. My wife had just turned 22.
Yeah.
So we were 2 years after that.
Right. Yeah. When you know, you know. It's fine. And I've always loved customer service, retail, worked in retail, you know. And when I was shopping, this was in 2006, shopping around, you know, it's post-Katrina. And Baton Rouge is getting bigger and people are moving here, you know, and it's becoming more of a metropolitan area. And I'm shopping around and I just didn't have the experience that I thought I could have, that I wanted to have. You know, we got married and I ordered my dress from a place and it came in and there was like a paperwork error or something. And it was like several sizes too small and they couldn't do anything about it. Just a mistake, you know, and I ended up getting a different dress off the rack and I was happy to get married and I liked it. I didn't love it. And I just kind of let it go. And then, you know, months later, I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like that's something that I could do and I could do it really well. And I was young enough, so I had enough of an ego, right? That I was like, I think I can do that.
And you still had a fire, too.
Yeah.
You still had a fire by getting your dress messed up.
Yeah. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I still got married, right? And like,
of course.
You know, and they really did do everything that they could to make it better. But I was like, I think you could have prevented it on the front end, right? And I'm a little type A. I'm a little, you know, super organized. And I really just thought I could do that better. I think I can do that better. And I got my husband on board and we were like, let's just start. We have this philosophy where when we want to try something new, we're like, let's just start. If there are any roadblocks that are too big to overcome, we'll quit. And so we just go piece by piece. And we did, you know, we got funding. I wrote a business plan. I went to market. I talked to designers and other stores. I just learned a lot, found a space, started small, and just have been growing ever since.
So you say you got funded. Was it through traditional means or family and friends? What was your funding structure?
We used the equity on our house as collateral and went through a local bank. We talked about banks. I love a local bank. We started with Gulf Coast Bank 18 years ago. We're still there. They gave me my business loan. They trusted this 20-year-old.
It's
right?
pretty crazy.
Right. Very crazy. And yeah, got a business loan and started. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It was really scary.
I mean, you bet the house on it. Literally bet the house on it.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, it was a small house.
But still, it was enough to get a space to lease.
Right.
And so when you started that, I know you had your husband on board. Does he have any entrepreneurial experience at all? Or is he just like, listen, I trust you?
He's just a super fan.
Okay.
Right?
Love it.
He's an engineer. So,
oh, wow.
Right. So he's very numbers minded and he's my like rational counterpart. Right. So if I'm going a little too far off the deep end, he's like, let's look at the data, you know, but yeah. So he was on board and we just started.
We should start a club for folks married to engineers.
Oh, you too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
my wife's a civil engineer.
Oh, yeah.
And she does the exact same thing. She's like, let's just bring it back.
Bring it on in.
Just bring it back in.
You know, we got to balance each other out. I mean, it takes my husband 6 months to pick a TV, right? Because he's got to research and look at everything. And I would just go in and be like, that one.
Yeah. See, I have that part about me as well. I think before I bought my vehicle, I did 3 years worth of research before purchasing it. So like I'm all about the researching before the buy at a certain level.
Yeah.
There's some stuff where I'm just like, just get it. Just get it. You know, it's fine. It's nothing. It's pair of shoes. We'll walk through them. It's fine.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but vehicle, TV, I see a little bit of the reasoning and rationale there.
Right.
But nevertheless, he was satisfied with the business plan.
Yeah.
Or did he help you write it? Was this,
No,
he was like, it's your thing, do it?
it's
Or
your
was he
thing,
like
yeah.
all involved?
I mean, you know, he was involved in as much as he was the free labor. You know, we had this building that had to be completely renovated, you know, and my dad was in on it too, right? And I brought them to this building that I had already signed the lease on, and I was like, here it is. Here's the store. And they both just kind of panicked, you know, they were like, how are we going to turn this into what you're seeing? And, but at that point, you know, what are you going to do? Tell me no.
The lease is already signed.
Right. So, you know, they were my labor. Yeah.
So how did you pick the spot that you got initially? And is it still the same spot?
It's not the same spot. I picked it because the lease was good. Okay. Their rent was low. And it was in an area that I liked. It was on Highland Road. It's over by where the new Superior Grill is now.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's a yoga studio now. It used to be like an old gas station from the 40s, I think. It's like this really cool old building.
Gosh.
And I saw the bones of it were good. It had big windows. It had this big wide open space. And I thought, you know, we'll never outgrow this. This is all I'll ever need. And I just thought it was cool, you know. So we signed the lease on it, got to work. I think it took 3 or 4 months of like really like a lot of labor, a lot of renovation. Yeah. And then we opened up in 2007.
Wow.
Yeah.
07. Coming up, you know, 2 years away from 20.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
exciting.
I know.
So what was your vision for how you were going to change the wedding dress buying experience?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to make it, first of all, beautiful, right? It's, you know, this is something that you think about or some people think about for a long time, and they want it to be an experience. And at the time, it didn't really feel like an experience. It felt more like a shot, like a transaction. And I wanted it to just be beautiful and comfortable and relaxing and memorable. And I wanted to come at it with, you know, an eye for service, right? Like I wanted to serve our customer and make it something that they remember as much as they remember what they wore and what their wedding day looked like and all, you know, the memories with their friends. I wanted them to remember that experience. And so we started out with a really small inventory. And we focused on just one-on-one relationships and getting to know our brides. And I have brides that were some of my first brides in 2007, 2008 that I'm still friends with on Facebook. I've watched their families grow. I mean, we've made these relationships and connections over the years.
So how much is it like Say Yes to the Dress in reality?
It's exactly like Say Yes to the Dress. And I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That show came out after I opened the store, right after I opened the store, that show came out.
And you were like, just missed the calling card.
Yeah, right. And I would watch the show and I would be like, God, that's exactly what happens. And I really feel like they do a very good job of showing the reality of it. I mean, like there's all kinds of emotions, happy, sad, there's all kinds of personalities. Everything you see on that show, we deal with all of the big personalities and opinions and all of that. It's all true. It's all real.
So as like what are you calling the folks? You know, I've never been wedding dress shopping before. Yeah. So for those that aren't familiar, what do you call the folks in the store?
We call them stylists.
Okay.
The people that work for me.
Yes.
Yeah, we call them stylists.
So how do you train stylists to deal with that sort of back and forth, whether it's the mom, the future mother-in-law, the sister throwing their inputs at the bride, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to our mission, which is to serve our customer, right? So like, how can you best serve our customer, right? You've got to have her back. So if the group that is in there with her is throwing out negative comments, negative opinions, like you're on her side, right? So find a way to not mediate, because that's not really their job, but find a way to speak for her if you need to, and make sure everything revolves back to her and her experience. So we find that people quiet down when we speak up because we can be the bad guy, right? Like that's not our mom. That's not our sister.
Yeah, you don't care.
We don't care.
You care about the one in the dress.
That's it. And we see it all the time. So we see the patterns. We've seen this play out. And so we'll take the bride's side every time, right? So they see that and they kind of back down. I think it helps them understand that like we both have the same goal, which is to make her happy. I think what they're coming at it with is they just want her to have a good time. They want her to be happy and to have a good result. And when they see that we want that too, it kind of chills everybody out.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And so the process is still the same as what they show on TV, where it's like, you come in, here's our budget, here's what we're after, the styles. Then you go back in this warehouse full of dresses and you start grabbing them off the rack.
Essentially, so we have open inventory. So all of our dresses are out. So everyone can touch them. Everyone can see them.
That's fantastic.
But we also do a pre-call with our customers. We call them before their appointment and we just get to know them. We have like a 15 or 20 minute chat.
That's cool.
You know, what's your vibe? What's the vibe of the wedding? You know, tell us about your fiance. Tell us about what you're looking for. Tell us the dynamics of the people that are coming. So we know a lot about them before they even come in. And so we've got things in mind, right? Like we're thinking, okay, so, you know, she's getting married at, you know, the Rural Life Museum and she and her fiance met on Bumble and this is their vibe. They like doing this. And she sent us these pictures. So we've got an idea before they even come in, but we always let them shop around, get their hands on dresses. That's what they're there for. That's what they want to do. And we let them kind of shop around and then we pick some things for them. And then we get the appointment started and get them in a few dresses. My girls are really good. The stylists that work for me, they're really good. They know their brides. They know their inventory. And usually by dress 3 or 4, we've got it nailed down.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that the average? About the 3rd or 4th dress, you can pretty much lock it down?
Yeah. Yeah. If they're doing their job and they've gotten to know you well enough. And yeah, by dress 3 or 4, we usually know. And you're not limited to that. I mean, we're trying on more than that because it's fun, right?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And play dress up.
Yeah. Like, let's do it. You got 90 minutes. We'll put as many dresses on you as you want. But by dress 3 or 4, we know. Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where 2 brides wanted the same dress?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you do?
Happens all the time.
Really?
I mean, it's, you know, something gets really popular and sometimes we'll have a dress and it's so popular, you know, someone will say, hey, my friend got her dress here. And we'll say, what's her name? And we'll look it up and make sure we don't pull it. Right. Because it's popular and everybody likes it. But yeah, it happens. Actually, a long time ago, we had these 2 brides that were in the store. This one bride had this dress on and she loved it, but she just had to think about it. She had to go shop a little bit more. And, you know, it's fine. That happens. And so she left and this other bride was there and they knew each other and they were like, oh, you know, and actually they were going to each other's weddings. And the second bride ended up buying that dress.
No.
Yeah. And the first bride came back and we were like, we have to tell you like this, you know, we have to tell you what happened. She's going to your wedding or you're going to hers. I don't remember whose was first.
Yeah, whichever one's first is.
Yeah, I guess.
Whoops.
And she said that actually her wedding was first and she was buying it too.
No.
Yeah. So she bought it. She wore it. I didn't follow up with them after that. I probably should have. It probably would have been a great story. But she and her mom were like, it's the one I want. And I'm getting it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen like the photos.
Yeah.
Like back to back for each other.
Yeah.
Being in the same dress.
Right. Or the photo of the bride whose wedding was second at the first bride's wedding, like seeing her come down the aisle like, oh no.
Yeah, what is that? What do you do?
Right. You change it up. You wear a different accessory, different veil, do your hair different. Hope not as many people are there from the other wedding.
I mean, at that rate, they should have just borrowed each other's dress.
Right.
Like, hey, you wear first.
No. No, they did the right thing. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Got it.
That was a cool story.
So for the first set of customers when you were first getting started, was it word of mouth? Did you have this big marketing plan you were going in with? How did you get that first person in the door?
Yeah. Well, back in 2007, print marketing was what you did, right? I mean, we were in all of the local publications, so expensive. We were sending out postcards. We were doing bridal shows and getting leads list and like handwriting postcards. I mean, we would send out, 500-600 postcards just.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Can you imagine the trips to the post office and the stamps? I mean, print was, no, it's not cheap and it was heavy. And so, yeah, we would do big ads in all of the publications. And that's how we got our first through the door. And then after that, the first couple years after that, it really turned to word of mouth because, brides that are getting married, they have friends that are getting married. And if they have a good experience and if they feel seen and heard, they're telling you where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's built on that. I mean, social media changed the game entirely, right? Like we moved pretty much all of our marketing budget to social media and then just watched it explode.
So what year did y'all make that shift?
Probably that was in 2010. Is when we really, pulled away from print and went more to, Facebook. I don't even know that Instagram was really around then. That was probably a little bit later. And then probably in like 2014 or 2015 is when we went full social media.
And so that's the full marketing strategy now. It's just social media.
Yeah.
And you're on every platform or just certain ones that you find fit
all
best?
Of them.
Okay.
So as many as we think fit our niche, right? So like Facebook, obviously, Instagram, obviously. And then we also have a TikTok. And it's funny because the different formats of social media, you have this like different personality on them. You do these different things on them. So like Facebook is like, it's kind of for the moms, it's informational. It's like telling mom what's up. Instagram is for the aesthetic. We got that. We've got pretty things. And then TikTok's been really fun because we can be irreverent and funny and show them our personality in the store. And so we have some really great TikToks.
We gotta pull some of these TikToks.
Oh yeah, we're viral.
Really?
Yeah. We've got some like 15, 16 million views.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Dumb stuff.
Okay. So what was your most viral clip?
Our most viral one is this sound. And it's just a girl and she goes, "I'm pregnant." And then, the sound goes, "What?" And it's just us like measuring a bride. And then the bride says, "By the way, I'm pregnant," essentially. And we all like whip our heads around. 10 million views, right?
Holy smokes.
Right. It just, we'll plan out a TikTok and we're like, this is going to be great. This is hysterical. They're going to love this one. And it gets like 3,000, right? Views. And then we'll do one afternoon where we're just like messing around and we're bored and we're like, yeah, this would be funny. And we throw it up there and it gets 2 million views. TikTok, you just never know.
I feel like the algorithm just knows how much effort you put into the video.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you put effort into this video.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
You get nothing.
You get nothing. But it's like, oh, you just pulled your phone out and captured this really cool, funny moment.
That's what we want.
That's it.
That's what we want to see.
That's what we're pushing out
That
there.
really is how it really feels like that's what happens. Yeah.
So have you been able to see like a pattern or at least conversions from the TikToks or a specific platform where you perform the best?
Yeah. It's interesting that you asked that because we're trying to figure that out now with TikTok, right? Like we thought TikTok was going away, like back in January.
we had a big scare.
Times,
yeah.
Sad times for me. I actually bought a new phone in that period of time. And what I learned was TikTok would stay on your phone, but you couldn't download it. And on my new phone, it was trying to download it and it couldn't. And so I had to send in my old phone, right, to get the credit. And I was like, I can't do it. Like, I got to keep it. I got to be
keep
able
it and forget the credit.
Yeah. Like you can take my $400. Like I got to have TikTok. Right. And then it ended up back in the app store. And so my husband was like, it's time. Send it back.
Send the phone back in.
Right. So now that like we know TikTok is here to stay for now, at least, we're trying to figure that out. Like, how do we really track that? Because we're getting all of these views and likes and comments. But is it really converting into sales or even appointments? Or is it just good for brand building?
Right.
And even if it's just brand building, that's okay. Like it gives brides a chance to see our personality, get comfortable with us, realize that it's not going to be stressful when they come in because we're funny. Mm-hmm. So it's valid for that. Facebook and Instagram, they just make it so easy to spend money with them because they show you what you're doing. They show you those conversions. We can track it on our website. We can see this, click came directly from Instagram and we can measure it in that way.
Yeah. And so then you're able to measure how many appointments were booked from Instagram, so on and so forth.
Right. And then we know our conversion rate once they get into the store. Once they get into the store, we know how many we're selling. So it's just getting those appointments booked.
Got it. Now, have you cross-posted your TikToks onto Reels?
Yeah, we have. I feel like they don't hit in the same way. Like it's like Instagram Reels. It's like its own world.
Right.
You got to use those TikTok sounds like 3 months later on Instagram Reels, and then it might hit. So we try and do fresh content on all 3 platforms.
So wait, you're generating different pieces for all 3 and not repurposing anything?
Sometimes if we make a TikTok, we might share it to our Instagram story or our Facebook story or something. But we try to do TikToks that are funny. And then we do Instagram Reels that are aesthetic. And then we do, Facebook posts. Yeah, we make a lot of content.
So you've got to have a full-time in-house.
Yeah, I've got one of my stylists actually is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's just has a knack for it, and she's there, and so she does our Instagram and Facebook, and then actually because of NIL deals, right, we were able to get an LSU volleyball player to come model for us.
Okay.
Yes, and that's been awesome.
So does she get an address whenever whenever the time comes?
Oh yeah. Whatever she wants. We're obsessed with her, right? She's gorgeous. She's funny. She's, she's the whole package. So yeah, whatever she wants. But we pay her to come, every Monday or whenever she's free and just throw on a bunch of dresses and make some reels and have a good time. We just love her.
Have you ever had her play volleyball in a dress yet?
Oh my God. No, I'm writing that note, I'm mentally writing that note. Absolutely.
That shows the versatility of the dress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can do anything in these dresses.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Or a going away dress after the night's over. You can play volleyball on your way out.
Oh, my God. I love it. Catch me at Mango's this summer. Okay.
Have the whole volleyball team in wedding dresses.
Let's do it. Why not?
Sponsor a volleyball tournament?
Yeah. I'll tag you, man. That's a great idea.
We'll be there.
Okay. I love it.
So you love the wedding industry so much, you decided to just kind of take another step and foot in the door on the bartending side.
Yeah.
How did this, what is this? How did this come about?
Okay. So Bustle has been around since 2007. I've got it kind of automated, right?
You're bored.
Until
the volleyball tournament.
Right. Until the volleyball tournament. It's kind of running itself in a lot of ways. I'm definitely hands-on in a lot of ways, but I have this incredible staff right now who are just so competent and they just buy in so heavily to what we do and to servicing our customers. And they're just killing it, And, it's been 18 years and I'm like, okay, this is great, but what else, what else is out there? And I attended this event and the bar that they had at this event was just kind of subpar, and again, I was like, I just think I could do that better. And so I just started researching, right? I love making cocktails. I love doing that for my friends. And I thought, what if we could take this and do large events, corporate events, Christmas parties, weddings, and then also do intimate things like dinner parties and, birthday parties and things like that. And it's really caught on. It's been a lot of fun. We do all of that. Small, we're doing a birthday party this weekend. Someone is hiring a sushi chef to come to their house, for their birthday. And so they hired us to come do complimentary or martinis and wines that complement the sushi for their friends. So we're going to do that. It's going to be really fun.
Okay. And this business is called, for those listening,
Fleur de Fizz.
Fleur de Fizz.
Yes.
Okay. And so this is just a bartending service that people can call up for their corporate event, wedding, so on and so forth?
Yep. We can do, I say 10 to 10,000 people.
Oh, have you done 10,000?
No. I want to. Maybe.
Just curious.
It's scalable. We could do it. Yeah. We show up and we perform the service. Like we bring everything, right? So we bring the ice and the mixers and the garnishes and the tools and the expertise. I've got some incredible bartenders on staff that can make all kinds of things. We can do specialty cocktails and with that level of service that I want to provide. And it's been really fun.
And so those people are staying full all the time, I imagine. Like your bartenders, they're staying.
They're busy.
Okay.
They are busy. Yes.
And I feel like that's something that has been missing in the marketplace, because you could, if you knew somebody who owned a restaurant, or you knew somebody that owned a bar, hey, do you have a bartender free?
Right.
Like I've kind of become that person for my family. They're like, hey, dude, we need a bartender. I'm like, okay, let me text my buddy. And like, get somebody there. But now it's like, go. I'm just gonna be like, no, go here.
Call me.
Call them.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, we're insured, I make sure that everyone that works for me has a license, is experienced. It's not just people opening beer and bottles of wine. They really know their stuff. Mixologists, they know how to make you something cool. I've got this one bartender, and, you can come up to him and be like, look, I don't really know what I want to drink, but I want something kind of fruity, kind of herbal. And he's like, let's try this out. Really creative.
And so they're bringing the whole bar back kit that they need to do whatever these cocktails are going to be.
Tools, shakers, strainers, bar mats, everything. We show up, we set up a bar, and then when we leave, it's like it never happened.
All right. That's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been fun. People really like it.
Yeah. A whole lot better than getting like one of your 12 or 13-year-old neighbors to open beer and pour wine.
Yeah. You're like, a martini is 2 ounces of vodka. Right. I mean, you could do that.
I've been.
These kids need to learn.
Yeah. I've been on both ends of that. Been the 12 or 13-year-old serving the alcohol at the party, and then been the one attending and being like, how old are you there, buddy?
Yeah. But yes, I mean, we'll do something as small as that. And then, we've weddings, we've done corporate Christmas parties, engagement parties, whatever.
Yeah. I'll imagine the corporate space has got to be huge.
Yeah.
So you've got some of these people just having parties at their houses.
Right.
And looking for that level of service.
Right.
And not wanting to have an intern come do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Have us. We do all of it. Yeah.
I love that. And so how do you incorporate, or do you incorporate that when the brides are shopping? Do you get your stylist, kind of do a little upsell while they're doing, like, oh, do you have your bartenders picked yet for your reception?
We should, right? We should. I mean, it's on our website. We've got the cards out. If someone's talking about it, I'll talk about it. But I do like to leave it separate, just so they don't feel like I'm like, hey, now that I've got you here,
now that you're here,
what else can I do?
Here's everything else that we can serve.
You need flowers? I can do it. So, I mean, we'll talk about it. We actually have this service at the store where we've got this 3,000 square feet of space that we opened in 2019. We moved Bustle over off of Airline by Little Village in 2019, in the summer of 2019. So just like right in time for COVID.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And so we took over this 3,000 square feet, and there was this 1,000 square foot space next to us. And at the time I was like, it's too much. I don't want to do it. And so for the past 5 years, I've just looked at that vacant space and I'm like, man, like what could I do there? And so, back in January, we opened it up as a VIP suite. So you can come and you can have a VIP appointment in this suite, and you're the only people in there. It's like you have a whole store to yourself. It's got its own bathroom, viewing area, and it's got a bar. We did a beautiful custom bar in it.
There we go.
There it is. So we, as part of this VIP experience, you get a mimosa bar, but you can upgrade it. We can do espresso martinis, lemon drop martinis, whatever you like.
Okay. You talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
The espresso martinis.
Yeah.
Where did these come from, and why are they still here?
I don't know, but thank God, right? Like, I love them. I'm an espresso martini girl.
I think I've only had one.
We haven't had mine.
Okay, I haven't had your. Well, I've never been
over.
Shopping for a wedding dress, so.
Okay, well, I should have brought you a whole picture of them. We've perfected it. I don't know, but like you see it everywhere, right? Like, we were out for a friend's birthday this weekend, and we went to the station of all places. Look at that. Should have known.
Who's shaking the beers in the studio?
Not me. I promise.
Anyhow, so you went to the station.
Yeah, we went to the station, and on the menu of at the station, espresso martini, and I'm like, man, they're everywhere. And I'm reading the ingredients, and I'm like, okay, y'all, like, this is a decent one. This has got a good coffee liqueur. So I tried it. It was great. It's good. Everybody likes it. I feel like it's the grown up Red Bull vodka, right? It's got like the caffeine. It's got the upper and the downer.
So is that why it's now become so popular? The Red Bull and vodka crowd have gotten to the age where they've recognized it's no longer acceptable,
right,
to drink a Red Bull and vodka. You got to be fancier.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, let's just do this espresso martini.
Yeah, it's not 2005 anymore. We got to grow up a little bit and be mature and have 4 espresso martinis instead of 4 Red Bull vodkas.
Same effect, right?
Same effect.
Yeah.
Classier.
Nobody looks at you weird when you order 4 espresso martinis.
Yeah, they're saying this girl has class.
Right.
This girl knows what to do.
But if you have 4 Red Bull and vodkas,
they're like, she's going to crash out.
Yeah. What's wrong with
this poor girl?
Yeah,
she never grew up. That's right.
But it really has become like this.
Yeah,
it's not even like a fad. It's like this serious hard trend that's just here to stay.
Right.
And I feel like every time I'm going to a restaurant in the evening for dinner, like at the end of the night, all you see is like espresso martinis over the table.
Oh, and the bartenders hate it.
Well, because it's not an easy drink to make.
It's not an easy drink to make. No.
Like there's so much garnish work that goes into making those. And then you can't, from my understanding, you can't batch them either.
I think you can. I batch them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was told you can't batch them.
Well, anything's possible.
This is true.
We batch them. So we sell carafes of cocktails for parties, right? Okay. And this was so popular over the holidays. And so we would sell like a carafe of espresso martinis. We did peppermint espresso martinis over the holidays. It was great. You're not going to get that gorgeous like foam on the top from shaking it, but it gets the job done. It's good.
It still works.
It's cold. Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's not an easy drink to make when you're doing it at a restaurant. So it's like, I hate to be that girl, but can I get an espresso martini? Because if you order one, everyone around you, they're like, oh.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
It's like somebody hears the word espresso and then their ears are perked up and they're like, we'll take 12.
Right. Right.
And the bartender's just looking at you like, okay, this is where my night's going.
Yeah.
Thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Lake Men's Health Center with Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. Guys, I know it's tough to get out and go to the doctor. I know it's challenging to find time in our busy days, but I promise you, signing up to be a part of this group with Dr. Curtis Chastain and Dr. Tyler Boudreau, you won't regret it for several reasons, but most of those being the fact of the time it saves, where you're able to get in on the same day, get that appointment done, and spend that time you need to talk with them about what your health goals and concerns are, as well as ensuring that the financial investments you have, you will be able to live out and see those come to fruition. So if you're an investing guy, you know all about and planning for the future and investing in the future. There's no other more important thing to invest in than your health. Make sure you go check them out, Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group Men's Health Center, and tell them Patty G sent you.
So you sell carafes. So do you have a storefront?
No, I just do it all out of my kitchen.
Okay. Out of your home kitchen?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Out of your commercially grade, approved by the the
absolutely.
food and all the necessary parties.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Of course. Mm-hmm. So in this storefront that you've got,
yes,
are you bringing team members in to help you make this? Or are you doing it yourself? Like, making crafts is not easy.
It's not easy, but I've got a spreadsheet that tells me how much to put in it, what to do.
Love it.
And I've got it down to a science. So I'm doing it myself. It's kind of zen, right? Like there's not a whole lot of thought because I've done the thinking. Mm-hmm. The thinking is in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, your whole mixology report's there.
It's there, right? So all I have to do is follow this recipe, pour it in, listen to some music, pour it in the carafes. Mm-hmm. I like it. I enjoy it.
Do a little sample every now and again.
Every once in a while. Just
quality control.
Quality control. Just got to make sure it's good.
Right.
I can't send out subpar product.
No, of course not.
No. You know how like over COVID, people got new hobbies and bettered themselves and, learned new things. My husband and I perfected some martinis. That's what we did. We bought different vodkas and we made the perfect dirty martini. We made the perfect espresso martini, and I stand behind them.
All I hear is you made a business during COVID.
Yeah, right. There it is. Look at her.
You were bettering yourself.
Yeah, sure.
You You were taking the limes and lemons that life gave you and literally making drinks with them.
Literally making margaritas with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than the rest of us who were just experimenting to experiment, finding good, fun cocktails to make in the afternoon. And the afternoon became, 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah. What a time. What a time.
Like, we were all starting to work at 5 or 6 in the morning and done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's right.
All the neighbors, we all came outside and just sat on the street and had a block party 7 days a week.
It didn't suck. That part of it was pretty great.
Right. That part of it where the community came together, all that good stuff. Like that part, I was like, that was not bad. I got to work at home every day with my wife. That wasn't that bad either.
Right.
There's some positives that came out of it on that front.
There were. We had a newborn at the time. So I had a baby on March 13th of 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, like the day, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice because we were like, don't come to my house. Don't come here. No one, don't come. Leave us alone for at least 3 months.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
We had a similar situation where ours was in November of 21.
Okay.
So the hospital was still under COVID protocol.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, we're not going to get all the family, which is great.
Yeah.
When it's appropriate.
Right.
But it's like, it was just us. And I was like, this is great. It's just us. And, we don't have 40, 50 family members cycling in through this room.
Yeah.
And
you can't be here. They said you can't be here.
Right. They said you can't be here. Right. Funny enough, I found out that they keep the photos from the first time because for our second one, my photo, they just printed it out and it was me holding a mask.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I was like, we're not going to take a new photo. They're like, do you want to take a new photo? I was like, no, it's
actually not really. Like,
I was like, it's stuck now.
Yeah.
Like it's me at 5 a.m. looking like a little kid. Like, we're here.
That's the look. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really funny. We were the last people at Women's Hospital where we had support people. So my husband's parents were there and my parents were there. And it's a good thing because I had a C-section and my husband passed out. Full fell out on the ground, hit his head, had to go down to the emergency room at Woman's. My mom had to scrub in and come into the C-section room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He split his head open.
He hit his head on the doctor's chair, the anesthesiologist's chair.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily I had some other people there, but we had a really eventful start to COVID.
It's pretty eventful. Yeah.
It's pretty eventful.
Y'all are both in recovery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So you've got these two businesses that are growing and thriving, and you decided to just tackle on a third challenge.
Sure. Why not? Who likes to sleep?
Right.
Not me.
Right. So walk us through this.
Okay. So the Women's Wedding Society it's a group of female wedding business owners, right? And it was founded, the founder was Morgan, who owns a venue. She owns Lauren Hope Venue.
Okay.
And it was founded as a networking opportunity for women in the wedding industry, which really has been a need here for a long time. We have such a niche thing. We're female business owners in the wedding industry. That's so niche and specialized. So it was started as a networking opportunity for us. And she needed to take a step back because she had a third baby and we all know how that goes. And so I was asked to take the position of president, and I was happy to do it because this is something that I really think we've needed. I've always wanted to be part of, and I'm pretty passionate about it.
So what do y'all do?
We meet pretty frequently. We try to meet once a month and just share stories and challenges and wins in our industry, learn a lot from each other. I mean, it's incredible what you can learn at a roundtable discussion with other people that do exactly what you do. And you think you know so much about it, and you have a lot to bring to the table, but you learn incredible things from other people's challenges and successes. So we meet, we get together, we try to plan events that brides can attend and get to know us. We collaborate on Instagram. We have this really great Instagram where we share everything that everyone posts in this one collective place. We're just trying to be a resource for brides in the area. Just look at our website and we've got a florist, a wedding planner, or several. We've got 2 in each category. Florists, wedding planners, photographers, videographers, anything that you need. We've got a group of really awesome women running these businesses, and they've been vetted. So you can't just join, right? Like we have to vote on you, have a discussion about your business, and make sure that you're the quality of business that we want to offer to brides. And so if you pass that test, you're in. And so we feel comfortable recommending any of the vendors in our group to any brides. Like if you use this person, you're going to have a good experience.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so you'll have 2 of every category.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have 2 spaces for every category. So some categories are full. Some we're still looking for vendors to join. But yeah, only up to 2, just to keep it, small and private and curated.
Yeah, well, and that part, the curation part, like you want to make sure that everybody that's a member of it has the same quality of values and service standards that everybody else does.
Yes.
And you kind of want to also be okay working with them because you likely will work with them.
Right. Because we're referring them and they're referring us. And so, it's people that we've worked with in the past. For me, it's been great because for wedding gowns, it's like we're on the front end of the wedding planning and we don't go to the wedding. So I don't really get to meet a lot of different vendors in the industry because I'm not there on that day. I'm not there doing makeup or hair or taking pictures or coordinating. So it's been fun for me to get to know all of these people that I've worked alongside in the industry, but never got to really know.
You don't have like a little box at the bottom that's like, check here if I can come to your wedding?
I should. Yeah, maybe we should do that. My stylists have been invited to so many weddings.
Oh, that's good.
Because they make friends,
of course.
And they're like, oh my God, you have to come to our wedding. And they go and they have a great time.
Yeah. That's where most of the TikToks have to be created, at the weddings.
I know. We should be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, like, when the bride comes down and all that stuff at the reception and everything, I feel like it'd be worth it.
You know what? And we have some brides that would really be down with that. They get our humor and they would do it for sure.
Yeah. Now you just got to put a sign up on the door. Caution: we film TikToks in here. You may be on camera.
They know. They already know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself within these 3 endeavors, kind of over the next 5 or 10 years? Is there a 4th endeavor in the works?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think 3 might be my limit. Never say never. I don't know. It's I think they all work together really cohesively. I love getting to know other vendors as part of Women's Wedding Society. And then, having the bridal store referred from that. That's great. Referring vendors from that in my store. Cause like I said, brides are coming to me first a lot. And so we get to, refer out. Where it's going, I don't know. I would love to do eventually in the future some consulting. I love seeing other businesses succeed. I would love to take what I've learned and my successes and failures and what I've learned from that and help other business owners, have their own success stories. I could see that as being part of it. I have a daughter who's 14. She's going to high school next year. I've got a daughter who's 5. Probably in the next 10 years, I'm going to want to focus on them and that. And I might be stepping away. So for now, it's like just kind of making hay, right? Like just doing as much as I can while I'm still fully in it.
I feel like y'all's organization needs to have a podcast about wedding stories.
Yeah.
Like all of the
that would hit,
stories.
wouldn't it? We've got tons. Got tons.
Can you share some of like the worst dress experiences you've had? You can leave names and people out.
All right, I gotta think. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but like the majority of our customers are just so great, right?
Of course.
They really are.
Of course. We want the minority.
Okay.
The one person over the 18 years.
Okay, so a long time ago, I had a bride who, for whatever reason, felt like she wasn't getting the attention that she wanted. And so she started referring to herself in the third person and demanding it and letting us know, I'll call her Susan, and she kept saying, Susan is not getting the attention she deserves. And Susan is not having the experience that she deserves. And I think I had like an out of body experience when that happened because I had never witnessed that before, and so I had to sort of adjust to that. That one kind of sticks out. to me.
I can just see it. Excuse me, Susan needs more eyes up here.
Yeah, truly. And I was like, okay, all right, Susan, let's go. That one sticks out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have any lesson learning moments, meaning there was something that you had to resolve or fix from a service?
From a service.
Or from a wedding dress snafu?
Mm-hmm. I got to think about it. I mean, we have the stories all the time where a bride buys a dress and then she comes back and she realizes that, or she believes it was an emotional purchase and she's not happy with it. And wedding gowns are custom. I mean, when we order them from our designers, it's like they're not just in a warehouse, they're made for them. And so we can't do they don't do refunds for us, right? When we order a dress,
You're stuck with it.
that's our dress. Like, whether we give it to the customer or we throw it in the storage room, they don't care. We ordered it. And so we've had some pretty sad, some pretty devastated brides. But we've always made it right. Like, I try to put myself in their position, and I think that they just want to be heard and listened to and empathized with. And we've lost some money by doing it, but we've made some really happy customers. We've made some really great long-term fans by doing that. And it was harder to do in the beginning. I didn't want to do it because we weren't super profitable, right? In the first couple of years, like you're trying to get established. So it was really hard to do. And so there were a couple times where we didn't do it and we stuck to our contract and we said, nope, all sales are final, can't do it. And then we got to a point where our business was solvent enough where we could make these brides just genuinely happy. And it costs money, but the end result is so worth it. So worthwhile to have turned that story that could have been really negative into something wonderful for them.
Yeah. They often have two memories, one of how great it went, two of how bad it went.
Right.
But you got to, as the business, pull for that third.
Yeah.
How you fixed the bad.
Right.
And it's the times in which you're able to recover.
Yes.
And enact your failure and recovery plan.
Right.
Are really what speak volumes, because those people speak even higher than those that has had a great experience, because they've got a story to tell.
Right.
Those that come in say, oh no, it was a flawless execution. I got what I wanted. It was a beautiful experience.
That's all they have to say.
It was great.
Right.
But then those that are like, okay, so here's what happened.
Right.
I got this dress. I was emotional. I was XYZ was the scenario. I went back and it was fully custom, all this and that. And here's what they did to fix it and make it right in my eyes.
Right.
That will go so much further, because when people are reading that review, they know that even when something bad happens, you're going to do everything in your power to fix it.
Right.
And
I tell my stylist that all the time. We're going to make mistakes. We try not to.
We're human. Stuff happens.
We try to be perfect.
Yeah.
But we're going to make a mistake, and it's all about how we fix it. That is what they remember. That's the story that they tell. And so we want the end of that story to be positive.
Right.
Sometimes they're surprised by what I'm willing to do. Like, someone will make an ask and they're like, I'm calling you. I know we're not going to do it. And I'm like, actually, let's do it. Like, let's make them happy. And they're like, okay, because I was fully prepared to tell this girl no. And they're surprised by it. But at the end of the day, like, let's have a happy customer. Let's make this great. Yeah.
It's the opposite of like that, those car buying ads where it's like, hey, let me call the manager. My hands are tied.
Right.
It's really not going to happen.
Right.
Let me call the bad person over
and then the
here.
bad guy's like, absolutely.
It's like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, wait, yeah, do it.
Like, why are you calling me?
Yeah, what's going on? Come on, I'm Baddie for the bride. Like, I'm here
Baddie
I'm here to make it happen.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. So you're just all over the place doing wonderful things for amazing people.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a joy, really. Like, I'm just living the best life, living the dream, really.
Yeah. And how is it? We kind of talked a little earlier about the ebb and flow. It kind of almost sounds like because of not only your like diversity, but you've also got this period that you're in where you're on the front end. It does never have like a peak season for you, or is there a peak season for you?
In the past, there has been. I mean, like we talked about, everyone gets engaged over the holidays, and then January through April, I'm like a CPA. I never see my family. I'm just like working constantly. But lately, the past couple of years, that's extended into May, June, July. Our busy season is becoming longer. And I think that has a lot to do with our social media reach. word of mouth, things like that. Maybe it has to do with the industry overall. I'm not sure. But we're seeing a longer and longer pattern of a busy season, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think that we're in a period of growth, which has been really exciting.
Well, I feel like social media has probably also helped extend that period, because now when people are on social media and they're seeing these holiday proposals, these event or calendar based proposals,
right.
and they're like, I don't really want something that's already been overdone.
Yeah,
and then it becomes more spur of the moment.
Right.
And then now those spur of the moments just happen all year long.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. That's true. Everybody's looking for a unique experience, right? Yeah.
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 That's
something to post.
Something to post.
Yeah.
And see, I proposed to my wife just short of the big social media post, because I went all out. I was like, I'm only planning to do this once.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
let's
all
do
out.
it. Right.
Oh, yeah. I sit on a scavenger hunt. Cut the levee so she could go on the other side and not have to walk through all this hay and everything.
Oh my God.
And like a tent set up with candles, and
that's incredible.
Film the whole thing. It was a worthwhile experience. A lot of people helped me do that.
And you did this before you could get the social media credit for it.
Right.
Come on.
I know. I was just too early in the game.
Man, you deserve a redo.
I was back when Facebook would take down videos if you posted a song in it.
No.
So like my wife posted it after it all happened and everything on Facebook, and then it got like removed after like 2 or 3 weeks. And there was like copyright infringement. I'm like, everybody posts a video with music. We're not laying claim to the music.
Right.
Like, we're just posting the video.
You're like, I'm not trying to get royalties.
Right.
Just trying to show off the proposal. Oh,
That's
I'm sorry. You deserve a redo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for it.
We'll recreate it.
Yeah, and if you want to do the whole vow renewal with like a new dress, I'm down for that too. Down for that.
Maybe. We'll make it happen. Maybe in 10 years.
Love that.
So before we get you out of here, we have a set list of questions we ask every guest that come on the show.
Okay.
First one is, what is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Okay, so we've been talking a lot about social media and how great it is. I kind of wish there were times where like I didn't have to worry about it. Like I could go do something and not worry about someone else seeing it, posting it, remembering it. Do you know what I mean?
And send it in your phone for the $400 credit. I get it.
Right. Like the anonymity of pre-social media. Yeah. I kind of wish I had that back sometimes.
It's like just living to live and not living like everybody's always watching everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
those were good times.
Those were great times.
Yeah.
If you roll at a stop sign on a very slow street, right?
That was okay. That used to be okay.
Nobody videoed it.
Right. Now you're getting videoed.
That's right. And then people are texting it to you like, hey, saw this, or put it on your story. How do you know this person?
Yeah, give a girl a break.
Like, come on, we're all trying to make it from point A to point B.
Right. God bless my high school years being before Facebook. Okay. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
Without giving away my age.
Yes.
God bless that.
Mine were before it became popular to post a lot.
Okay. Well,
before people went really viral.
Okay.
At the time, it was only like for creators, not like one single clip could go viral.
Yeah.
Like it was before then.
Okay. So you were living a little too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we also just didn't carry phones with us.
Right.
It was wisest for all.
Yeah.
So anyhow, outside of us doing illegal activities without cell phones, you have grown 2 successful businesses, one of them over the last 18 years, another over a shorter period of time. And you've created a community of women business owners that are all trying to help each other out. Throughout that entire process and that time, what are 3 lessons you have gathered along the way?
Learn to delegate. Can't do everything. If you delegate, you get to watch other people grow and shine in things that they can do. Manage your money, right? Have a plan. Learn to allocate things for the business. Learn to look ahead and have savings. Manage your money. And don't put limits on what you think you can do. Don't give yourself limiting speech in your head about what is not possible.
Right. I love that. The money will make or break your business.
Well,
so what is something you love about Baton Rouge?
I really like the sense of community here. I mean, Baton Rouge has its faults, right? Like we know that we travel. So like, you know,
Right.
when we come back, it's like, all right.
We have areas for improvement.
We do. But we've got community here that doesn't really exist in a lot of other places, right? Like we all have a lot of common interests. And I mean, like who doesn't love LSU sports or sports in general, right? We're big sports fans here. And that's the community around that. It's just really fun. I think about like Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day Parade, things like that. We have common things that we love here and a sense of community that's built around it. I really like that.
Oh, yeah. And we're always looking to see how we can help somebody else.
Yeah, it's true. It really is.
So speaking of such, what can I do to help you?
Post this.
Oh, of course.
Tag me.
Of course.
Yeah. Refer. If you know someone getting married, tell them I got 2 services I can help them with.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I need your help on corporate side of things.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
For sure.
Mhm.
We've got a lot. I know a lot more of those style of events that
Yeah.
people getting. All my friends
Right.
now are
I know
beyond
we've
the
kind of
age.
moved out of that.
Yeah,
era,
we're in
yeah.
now the kid era,
Right.
and we got a lot of years before
Yeah,
before we're
before
worried
that.
about weddings.
Hey, you know, it's nice to have cocktails at a kid's birthday party, right? Makes
Yep.
all the parents happy.
Yep.
But it's true. Yeah. I mean, corporate stuff. I actually really like doing that. Corporate events. It's like you get to kind of see people cut loose and have fun.
You get to see the real people.
Yeah.
You know, not all the
Yeah.
buttoned up, polished
Right.
professionals
Right.
that you see in the office. You get
Yeah.
to see the people being themselves.
Get to see those ideas start flowing. I like it.
Right. It's like, you know, seeing folks at the St. Patty's Day Parade
Right.
and seeing them riding in the floats.
Right.
And you're like, we have a meeting on Monday morning.
Yeah. Like,
You're gonna
get some sleep.
you're gonna text me tomorrow and push it back by 2
yeah,
hours.
I can tell. I can feel it coming. I can feel it
Yeah,
coming.
I know that. I know what's happening. I know what's happening.
True.
Yeah, you all get to have a good time though.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Absolutely. It was a fun time talking shop and talking weddings.
Yeah.
Super fun. So I'm excited to see where you're going to go. What is the easiest way for people to get in touch with you if they're interested?
Honestly, through our social media, you know, Instagram for the store is at Bustle Bridal. And then for the bartending business is at Fleur de Fizz Bartending. Hit us
Perfect.
up on Instagram and we'll get back to you.
You got it. We'll be sure to tag you. Maybe some folks will slide into those
Awesome.
DMs.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
So thanks so much for your time today, and thank you for coming on. I appreciate
This
it.
was great.
Good. Your first podcast
Yeah,
experience
I
in the
hope it was
books.
good. I hope this is interesting to people.
Oh yeah, people will love it if not be entertained.
Cool.
So thank you, and thank everybody else for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week on the Patty G Show. Be sure to follow us along each and every week on any channel or platform you consume content. Make sure you subscribe and tune in for our weekly shows. We'll see y'all later.